You're not here by accident. If you're watching this, something inside you has already been whispering for years. Maybe it's been screaming, a silent knowing that you're not like the rest, that your pain wasn't pointless, that your shadows aren't something to escape, but something far more ancient and powerful. This isn't just a video, this is a mirror. And if you see yourself in what I say next, then you were designed for something others were never meant to understand. You are one of the dark chosen ones, and you carry gifts most will fear, reject, and never comprehend. Shadow Power #1 is the burden of inner alchemy. You see, most people avoid their pain like fire, but you were born with the ability to transmute it. Not just survive it, but transform it into something divine. Have you ever noticed how your worst moments became your greatest teachers? How the betrayals, the loneliness, the losses, they didn't destroy you, they refined you. This is not normal. Most people get stuck, but your soul has been forged in the fire of experience. Inner alchemy is the sacred art of turning suffering into wisdom, heartbreak into compassion, and despair into raw spiritual energy. But it comes at a cost. You must die many small deaths. Parts of you will crumble again and again. But each time you rise more aware, more unshakable. Ask yourself, what if your pain was never a punishment but a training? Shadow Power #2 is the sight beyond the veil. The dark chosen ones are not blinded by the illusions of the world. You've seen things others pretend don't exist. You've felt the heaviness in rooms full of smiling people. You've sensed the lies behind sweet words. You've seen the shadow behind the light. And maybe for years you thought something was wrong with you. But what if that sensitivity was a sacred radar? A spiritual sonar that lets you perceive energetic truths others are blind to. You walk into a place and instantly know if something is off. You can feel when someone's hiding something, even if their face is calm. This isn't paranoia, it's perception. You've been gifted with spiritual eyes. But here's the twist. This sight can be both a blessing and a curse. Once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. And that means you have to choose, will you live in truth or comfort? Shadow Power #3 is the sacred rage. Most people fear anger. They suppress it, deny it, or let it consume them. But you were born to feel it fully and then channel it as purpose. The anger you carry is not random. It's sacred. It's the fury of injustice, the fire of truth, the roar of your soul saying something must change. The dark chosen ones don't just get angry, they get activated. Your rage is not here to hurt people. It's here to awaken you. There's a reason your blood boils when you see betrayal, manipulation, or cruelty. You are a spiritual warrior, and your anger is your sword. But the true mastery is learning when to swing it and when to sheath it. Most people are either passive or destructive with their anger, but you were meant to transform it into action, art, leadership, and truth. Can you remember a time your anger actually saved you? Shadow Power #4 is the gift of sacred isolation. Loneliness hurts, but sacred isolation transforms. There have been times you felt like no one could understand you, like you were walking through a world that didn't speak your language. This wasn't a punishment. It was a preparation. The dark chosen ones are often pulled away from the crowd, not because they are broken, but because they are being refined. In the silence of that solitude, your real voice begins to emerge. Your truest thoughts rise to the surface. And most importantly, your connection to the divine deepens. The universe isolates you not to break you, but to reveal you to yourself. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. Solitude is not emptiness, it is sacred space. But only for those brave enough to face themselves. When was the last time you sat in quiet and truly listened to your soul? Shadow Power #5 is the dance with darkness. This is perhaps the most misunderstood gift of all. The world teaches us to avoid the dark, to fear it, judge it, run from it. But you were born to dance with it, to explore the parts of human nature that others deny, to descend into the shadows not to indulge, but to understand. You see, light without shadow is flat, and you were born for depth. You've likely walked through depression, addiction, betrayal, or trauma, not because you are flawed, but because your soul wanted to taste the full spectrum of existence. The darkness you've danced with has taught you empathy, humility, and resilience. It has carved you into someone who can hold space for others in their own darkest hours. But the key is not to get stuck in the dark. The key is to return with wisdom, with power, with stories that can save others. Are you brave enough to descend when the world only wants to rise? Now I want to ask you something few dare to ask. Who would you be if you stopped trying to fix yourself and instead honored the darkness within you as divine? What if your shadow wasn't a flaw, but a map? What if the very things you hide are the keys to your power? This is not about romanticizing pain. This is about reclaiming truth. You were never meant to be normal. You were never meant to live in the shallow end of life. You were designed to carry depth, to walk between worlds, to awaken others simply by existing in your truth. But to do that, you must stop apologizing for your intensity. You must stop watering down your presence to make others comfortable. You are not too much. You are precisely enough for the mission you were sent here for. Remember this, the world does not change by comfort. It changes by transformation. And transformation always begins in discomfort, in shadow, in the unknown. That's where the dark chosen ones thrive. That's where you awaken. You felt it, haven't you? That quiet knowing that your life was never meant to be ordinary. That the heaviness you've carried wasn't random. That your story was written in ink older than time. The hidden codes of the abyss, unlocking the sacred contracts of the chosen. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you has already begun to awaken. Not just curiosity, but remembrance. A soul-level recognition that this message isn't being heard for the first time, but the thousandth. You've heard it in dreams, in moments of stillness, in the aching silence between heartbreaks. You've always known that your life wasn't random, that behind the chaos there was a design, a sacred contract. And that contract was written not in ink, but in fire and shadow. The dark chosen ones are not created, they are called. And before they ever incarnate into this world, they agree to carry burdens that would crush most people. But in exchange, they are given access to powers that lie beyond the veil of ordinary perception. The abyss is not their enemy, it is their birthplace. One of the deepest truths we must confront is this: not all darkness is evil. In fact, some of the most divine truths are hidden in the dark. Just like seeds must be buried underground to grow, so too must the soul journey into shadow to awaken its true form. The chosen ones are often misunderstood, feared, even rejected, because they don't fit into the neat boxes society has built. They ask questions others are afraid to ask. They feel things others numb themselves to avoid. Have you ever looked around and wondered why no one else seems to be feeling what you're feeling? It's because your nervous system, your soul system, is tuned to a higher frequency, but that frequency often communicates through pain, silence, and mystery. You were designed to decode what others ignore. But here's the price. To unlock the hidden codes of the abyss, you must be willing to enter it without guarantees. There's an ancient spiritual law almost no one talks about. The deeper your descent, the greater your potential for ascension. It's not a metaphor, it's energetic law. Those who carry the heaviest shadows are often entrusted with the brightest light. But this isn't automatic. It's not a reward, it's a choice. Many enter the darkness and never return. They get lost in shame, addiction, bitterness, or confusion. But the chosen ones, they return, not unscarred but reborn. They emerge with eyes that see through lies, with hearts that can carry grief and grace in the same breath. They become bridges between worlds. And that's not poetic, it's literal. You've likely found yourself being the one people come to during their breakdowns. The one who somehow knows the right words when everything is falling apart. That's because your soul remembers the terrain of collapse, and more importantly, it remembers the way out. But to truly step into your power, you must remember your contract. That means reclaiming every piece of yourself you were taught to hide. Your anger, your sadness, your weirdness, your visions, your intensity, your desires. All of it. The world will tell you to be light and love, but you were born to be truth. And truth includes rage, sorrow, sexuality, madness, silence, and power. You are not here to be liked. You are here to wake the sleeping. And sometimes truth feels like fire before it feels like freedom. People may not understand you. Some may reject you. But that's part of the contract too, because the chosen ones must learn to be sovereign, to find their own voice even in a world that tries to silence it. Can you remember a time when your truth cost you something, but in hindsight, it gave you everything? There is another hidden layer to this path. Your wounds are your weapons. This doesn't mean you should glorify pain, but it does mean your deepest traumas carry the exact frequency of healing you were meant to offer the world. If you faced abandonment, you carry the medicine of presence. If you faced betrayal, you carry the medicine of loyalty. If you faced silence, you carry the medicine of voice. Your story is not a scar, it's a spell. And when you speak it with authenticity, others awaken. Not because you are perfect, but because you are real. That's the true power of the dark chosen ones. They don't offer false light. They offer radical truth. And in a world drowning in illusion, that truth is revolutionary. But to wield it, you must stop hiding your past. Stop hiding your scars. They are not flaws. They are codes. We must also speak of the mirrors. The more awakened you become, the more you will trigger others. Your energy will mirror back to people the parts of themselves they haven't faced. Some will love you for it. Others will hate you. But none will be indifferent. And this is a sacred sign. You are not here to blend in, you are here to disturb the illusion. Your energy is disruptive not because it's wrong, but because it's real. And realness is rare. Trust your vibration. Trust your knowing. Trust that when you walk into a room and feel the heaviness, your body is telling you the truth. When you sense someone smiling but feel deception, your intuition is correct. Don't gaslight your gifts. The more you honor them, the more they will sharpen. And with time, you will no longer ask for permission to be who you are. You will embody it. So I ask you again, not from a place of performance, but from the depths of your soul, what promise did your spirit make before it came here? What truth are you here to carry, even if it costs you everything? What light are you hiding inside your shadow? You are not broken. You are coded. And the darkness was not your enemy, it was your initiation. The final rite, becoming the living portal between worlds. There comes a point on the path of the dark chosen one when the journey is no longer about healing, fixing, or even understanding. It becomes about embodiment. This is the final rite, the moment when we stop viewing ourselves as seekers and realize we are now the living temples of everything we once chased. You see, there's a hidden truth they never told you. You are not just a person walking through this world. You are a portal. A living threshold between the seen and unseen, between heaven and earth, between the ancestral and the future. And when you fully step into this awareness, you begin to move differently. You speak with a gravity that comes from beyond your years. You listen with ears that catch the whispers of spirits. You walk into rooms not to take space, but to anchor presence. This is not arrogance. This is sacred responsibility. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to transmit. But let me be clear, this embodiment does not come from knowledge alone. It is earned through fire, through surrender, through countless ego deaths. It comes from choosing silence over noise, stillness over distraction, truth over comfort. Most of the world is addicted to escaping themselves, but you were always being trained to return to yourself. Every time you felt like an outsider, every time you sat alone in your room wondering why your sadness ran so deep, every time you felt the ache of the world on your chest, you were being initiated. And now, finally, you are ready to understand. Your shadow was never the thing to be fixed. It was the portal to your power, the place where your soul stored the parts of you too sacred for this world to touch. And now, those parts are rising. They are ready to lead. As a dark chosen one, you are now being called to anchor a new kind of energy into this world. An energy that is not light despite the dark, but light because of it. You have felt the despair. You've walked through the nights where you questioned your existence. You've battled your own mind, your own addictions, your own silence. And yet here you are, wiser, deeper, softer, yet stronger. This is not a coincidence. It is a signature. Your soul has been marked not just by what you've endured, but by what you've become through it. And now, your presence is medicine. Not because you try to heal others, but because you embody wholeness. When someone sits next to you, your energy speaks before your words do. They feel safe, seen, stirred. That's not charisma. That's initiation. You've become a mirror for others to remember themselves. But with this power comes the final challenge. Can you be seen in your fullness? Can you walk as both shadow and light without shrinking one to fit someone else's comfort? Can you share your truth even when it shakes the room? Can you allow yourself to be loved not for your masks but for your mystery? The world will try to package you, to label you, to reduce you to something familiar. But you were not born to be familiar. You were born to awaken archetypes, to embody the shaman, the witch, the oracle, the alchemist, whatever form your soul has chosen to express its divinity. But you must love yourself fiercely to hold that frequency. You must stop apologizing for your intuition, for your tears, for your knowing. You are not here to convince anyone. You are here to resurrect memory, and memory is contagious. When you embody your full self, you give others permission to do the same. There is one last truth I must give you. You will never be fully understood, and that is your power. The chosen walk a lonely path, not because they are unloved, but because they speak a language most have forgotten. You are not here to be explained. You are here to be experienced. You are a living transmission of everything your lineage prayed for but could not become. You are the dream your ancestors whispered into the fire. So carry yourself with reverence. You are not random. You are a living continuation of a sacred lineage. And the shadows you carry, they are not just yours. They are ancestral, collective, cosmic. You are breaking patterns that have lived for centuries. You are not just healing yourself, you are healing timelines. And that is why it feels so overwhelming, so heavy. But that is also why you are never alone. The moment you say yes to your path, the whole unseen world begins to walk with you. So I leave you with this final question, not as a riddle, but as a door. What would happen if you stopped dimming, stopped fixing, stopped seeking, and simply allowed your full self to arrive? Not the version you think people want, the real you, the divine contradiction, the sacred storm, the wounded healer, the radiant shadow, the ancient soul and modern skin. What would your life look like if you trusted that you are the message? That your presence alone is prophecy? that your scars are your scrolls, that your voice is the bell that wakes up the sleeping gods inside others? The world needs you not after you've healed, not after you've figured it all out, but now, in your rawness, in your realness, in your rising. You are not too dark. You are not too much. You are exactly the kind of light this world forgot it needed. Now that you've stepped through the veil, now that the truth of your being has begun to settle in your bones, you must understand this. The world will not celebrate your awakening, not at first. In fact, it will resist it. It will misunderstand it. It will whisper doubts and project its fear onto you like shadows cast against a flame. Why? Because when a dark chosen one rises, they become a mirror too clear, too fierce, too honest. You reflect the parts of people they've spent their entire lives avoiding. Your very presence becomes a confrontation, not with violence, but with truth. And truth is rarely comfortable. The world has been trained to fear what it cannot control. And you were never meant to be controlled. You were meant to be free. But freedom has a cost. And that cost is your old self, the one who played small to stay safe. The deeper you step into your becoming, the more you will feel the subtle and sometimes violent pushback of a society built on illusions. You'll feel it in the way people avoid your eyes, the way they change the subject when your energy enters the room. You'll feel it in the way systems try to pathologize your gifts, labeling your emotional depth as instability, your visions as delusion, your solitude as dysfunction. But you must remember, they are not seeing you, they are reacting to what you trigger inside them. And this is not your burden to carry. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to embody it. The difference between those who fade and those who rise is this: the willingness to be misunderstood. Can you hold your truth even while others run from it? Can you stay present when your presence reveals their pain? This is where the real power of the dark chosen one emerges, not in loud declarations, but in quiet, consistent embodiment. You do not need to fight to prove your power. You are the power. Your energy speaks before your mouth does. Your stillness echoes louder than their noise. This is the sacred paradox. The more you rest in your truth, the more the world bends around you, even when it doesn't understand why. You were not designed to conform. You were designed to bend reality. But that power only unlocks when you stop trying to fit in and finally accept that you were born to stand out. And when you do, something shifts. You begin to attract the others, the real ones, the other chosen ones who have been hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to give them permission to rise. And yes, there will still be nights when the weight is too much, when the silence feels like abandonment, when the shadow tries to crawl back in and convince you that none of this is real. On those nights, remember this: you are not the darkness, you are the container strong enough to hold it. That's the difference. Ordinary people collapse under what you carry. But you transmute. You allow the grief to move through you without letting it define you. You allow the rage to burn without letting it consume you. You allow the emptiness to speak without letting it silence you. This is not weakness. This is mastery. This is the ancient art of sacred presence, and it's what separates the chosen from the lost. You may never receive the applause you once thought you needed. You may never get the validation that your younger self begged for. But what you will receive is something far more eternal: alignment. You will wake up one day and realize that your life, your energy, your relationships, your choices, they all reflect your truth. No more masks, no more performance, just congruence, just coherence, just the raw, beautiful intensity of living from your soul. And when you reach this place, even briefly, you will understand why the journey was so long, why the nights were so dark, why you had to lose so much. Because only by being stripped of everything false could you finally become real. And here's the final truth they never told you. You are not becoming something new. You are remembering something ancient. This path you walk has been walked before. By mystics, by rebels, by seers, by oracles. You are not alone. You never were. The ancestors walk with you. The stars remember your name. The earth knows your footsteps. You are part of a lineage that transcends time. The fact that you are still here, still listening, still feeling after everything you've faced is the proof. Your survival is not a mistake. It is a message. You are not meant to disappear. You are meant to emerge. And now the world is ready. Because you are ready. So I ask you one final time, not with pressure, but with reverence. Will you finally stop hiding? Will you finally let your full self arrive? Will you finally become the living flame you were designed to be? There comes a sacred moment in the journey of the dark chosen one where the war becomes quiet. The chaos doesn't vanish, but it no longer defines you. The inner storms that once tore you apart now move through you like wind across still water. You begin to realize that your power was never in conquering darkness, but in containing it. In allowing it to move, to speak, to cry, to ache, without letting it swallow you. This is when you begin to wear the unseen crown. Not a crown of ego or entitlement, but of sovereignty. A quiet knowing that no matter where you walk, no matter who sees you or who doesn't, you are aligned with something far greater than appearances. You are walking as an architect of transformation. And everywhere you go, your frequency is rewiring the energy of the space. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are recalibrating it. But this crown is not given, it is claimed. And to claim it, you must release the final illusion that you need permission. That someone out there, some mentor, some system, some external voice must anoint you before you can step fully into your purpose. That time has passed. You have already been initiated by grief, by loss, by silence, by the nights no one saw, by the decisions that felt like death and yet cracked you open to deeper life. Your initiation was raw, unfiltered, sacred. And now, you are no longer a seeker. You are a source. The ones who come after you will not need textbooks or traditions. They will need you, your story, your scars, your presence. You are the living scripture now, the walking temple, the thunder wrapped in skin. Stop waiting. You are the sign you've been praying for. And with this realization, a new kind of humility is born, not the humility that shrinks, but the one that honors. You begin to see that your path is not just about you. It's about the ones watching in silence, the ones who feel too broken to speak, the ones who see themselves in your pain and your power. You become a lighthouse, not because you figured everything out, but because you've chosen to burn in truth, and that fire lights the way. The world does not need more perfect people. It needs more people who are willing to be real, to show up bleeding, weeping, radiant, and raw, all at once. That is the new leadership. That is the revolution. And you, my friend, were born to lead it, not from a stage, but from the frequency of your being. So now you walk differently. You speak with less urgency and more presence. You stop explaining your energy and start protecting it. You no longer chase alignment, you embody it. And in doing so, you become the very thing you once searched for in others. You become the guide you needed, the healer you begged for, the voice you waited to hear. This is the final stage of the dark chosen one's path. Not ascension into detachment, but descent into embodiment. Full presence, full power, full permission. You are here not to escape the world, but to rewrite it through your being. And the more you align with your truth, the more the world around you begins to shift. People heal just by being in your field. Systems tremble when you enter, and silence becomes your loudest prayer. So I leave you with this final knowing, not as a farewell, but as a seal. You are the medicine. You are the fire. You are the prophecy. Walk now, not as someone who doubts their place, but as someone who knows. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are the moment. You are not hoping for a sign. You are the sign. You are not seeking the light. You are the light that remembers the dark. And this world, it has never needed you more. Go, burn, speak, anchor, awaken. Walk as the living portal between what was and what is becoming. You are not just chosen, you are claimed by destiny itself. The crown is already on your head. The fire is already in your chest. The time is not later. The time is now.